In the last episode, Alex and his companions regrouped with a renewed sense of purpose, driven by a mysterious transmission that promised support and guidance in their quest to uncover the secrets of the lost city and ancient artifact. With Alara struggling to contain Kale's vengeful specter, Alex's leadership rallied his companions as they navigated treacherous landscapes and infiltrated strongholds. As they neared their goal, they faced challenges and betrayals that threatened to tear them apart. The darkness closes in around me as I crouch in the shadows, my heart racing with every snap of a twig or rustle of leaves. Our scouting mission has taken us deep into the heart of Aetheria's underworld, a labyrinthine network of tunnels and caverns that seems to shift and writhe like a living thing. My companions, Ilara, Kale, and Lila, are scattered around me, their faces illuminated only by the faint glow of luminescent mushrooms. We're on the hunt for a lead, a whisper of information that might bring us closer to our goal. The transmission, which we believe came from an unknown ally, spoke of an ancient text hidden within the lost city's ruins. This text, the ally claimed, would reveal the location of the artifact and the Archon's true intentions. Lila's voice is barely audible as she whispers in my ear, "We've got movement, Alex." Two guards, heading straight for us. My senses go on high alert as I peer into the darkness. The guards are clad in black armor, their faces obscured by helmets. I can feel Kale's presence stirring, his vengeful specter itching to be unleashed. Ilara's hand on my arm stays my movement. "Wait, Alex, let's see what they do." The guards stop at a nearby intersection, their voices muffled as they converse. I strain to listen, but their words are indistinct. Lila's eyes lock onto mine, a silent question hanging between us. Without thinking, I make my decision. "Take them out, Lila, quietly." Lila nods, a small smile playing on her lips. She melts into the shadows, her dagger glinting in the faint light. The guards never stand a chance. As the last guard falls, Ilara steps forward, her eyes flashing with a mixture of concern and determination. "Kale's getting restless, Alex. I don't know how much longer I can keep him contained." I nod, feeling the weight of my responsibility. "Well, get him to a safe place, Ilara, I promise. But for now, we have a mission to complete." "Let's move, team. We've got a text to find." The darkness seems to swallow us whole as we proceed deeper into the underworld, the silence between us thick with anticipation and foreboding. What secrets lie hidden in the ancient text, and what dangers await us in the lost city? The only certainty is that our journey is far from over, and the stakes have never been higher. Previously, Alex and his companions had just taken out two guards in a tense, stealthy operation and were now deeper in Aetheria's underworld, searching for an ancient text that could reveal the location of the artifact and the Archon's true intentions. Ilara was struggling to contain Kale's vengeful specter, and the team was on high alert, aware that their journey was far from over and the stakes had never been higher. With their goal in sight, they pressed on, navigating treacherous tunnels and avoiding unknown dangers. As we proceed deeper into the underworld, the air grows thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. The luminescent mushrooms cast flickering shadows on the walls, making it seem as though the very rocks are moving and twisting around us. Lila takes point, her senses on high alert as she navigates the treacherous terrain. Ilara and Kale follow closely behind, their eyes fixed on the darkness ahead. I bring up the rear, my hand on the hilt of my sword. The weight of my responsibility as leader hangs heavy on my shoulders, but am determined to see this through. We've come too far to turn back now. The tunnel opens up into a vast cavern, the ceiling lost in darkness. The sound of dripping water echoes off the walls, and the air is heavy with the scent of age and decay. Lila's eyes light up as she spots something in the distance. "Alex, look," she whispers, her voice barely audible over the sound of dripping water. I follow her gaze, and my heart skips a beat. There, in the center of the cavern, is a massive stone door. The surface is etched with ancient runes, pulsing with a soft blue light. That's it, Elara breathes, her eyes shining with excitement. That's the entrance to the lost city's ruins. Kale's presence stirs, his vengeful specter itching to be unleashed. I can feel his anger and frustration, his desire for revenge against the Archon. But I know we can't afford to let Kale's emotions get the better of us. Not now, not when we're so close to our goal. We need to be careful, I say, my voice low and steady. We don't know what's waiting for us on the other side of that door. Lila nods, her hand on the hilt of her dagger. "I'll take point," she says. "See if I can scout out the other side." I nod, and Lila melts into the shadows, her form disappearing into the darkness. Elara and Kale move closer, their eyes fixed on the stone door. As we wait for Lila's report, I take a moment to reflect on how far we've come. We've faced countless challenges and overcome incredible odds. And yet, despite all we've been through, we're still standing. We're still together. That thought gives me a surge of hope and determination. We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for a better future, a future where Aetheria can be free from the Archon's grip. Lila reappears, her eyes shining with excitement. "It's clear," she says. "I saw a chamber beyond the door. There are ancient texts on the walls and something else." I raise an eyebrow, intrigued. "What else?" Lila's smile grows wider. "A pedestal with a small, leather-bound book sitting on top. I think that might be what we're looking for." Elara's eyes light up. "The text," she breathes. "It's real." I nod, my heart racing with excitement. "Let's do this," I say. "Let's see what secrets that text holds." With a deep breath, I push open the stone door, and we step into the unknown. The chamber beyond is dimly lit, the air thick with dust and age. The walls are lined with ancient texts, their pages yellowed and cracked. And there, in the center of the room, sits the pedestal with the small, leather-bound book waiting for us. But as we approach, I sense something is off. The air feels heavy, the silence oppressive. And then I see it. A figure standing in the shadows watching us. My hand on the hilt of my sword, I prepare for battle. But as I look into the figure's eyes, I see something unexpected. A glimmer of recognition, a hint of familiarity, and then, in a voice that sends shivers down my spine, the figure speaks. "Welcome, Alex," it says. "I've been waiting for you." Previously, Alex and his companions had stumbled upon a cryptic message etched into the wall of a hidden chamber, hinting at a powerful ally waiting for them in the shadows. Elara's struggle to contain Kale's vengeful specter had reached a boiling point, and Alex's leadership was put to the test as he navigated the treacherous landscape of Aetheria's Underworld. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, the stakes had escalated, and the team's resolve was pushed to the limit. The air seems to vibrate with tension as the figure steps forward, its eyes locked on mine. I try to place it, but it's like trying to recall a memory from a dream. The familiarity is there, but it's just out of reach. Lila's hand on my arm is a gentle reminder to stay focused, and I nod slightly, my eyes never leaving the figure. "Who are you?" I demand, trying to keep my voice steady. The figure smiles, its eyes crinkling at the corners. "Someone who knows you, Alex. Someone who knows your friends." It takes a step closer, its movements fluid and deliberate. "My name is Lyra. I've been watching you from the shadows, waiting for the right moment to make contact." Elada's eyes narrow, her hand on the hilt of her sword. "What do you want from us?" she asks, her voice wary. Lyra's gaze flicks to Elara, and for a moment I see a flash of sadness in her eyes. "I want to help you," she says. "I have information that can aid you in your quest. Information about the Archon, about the artifact, and about the true nature of Aetheria." Kale's presence stirs, his vengeful specter itching to be unleashed. I can feel his anger and frustration, his desire for revenge against the Archon. But I know we can't afford to let Kale's emotions get the better of us. Not now, not when we're so close to our goal. I take a deep breath, trying to process Lyra's words. Can we trust her? Or is she just another pawn in the Archon's game? What kind of information, I ask, trying to keep my tone neutral. Lyra's smile grows wider. I can tell you about the ancient civilization that created the artifact, she says. I can tell you about the secrets it holds and the power it wields. And I can tell you about the Archon's true intentions and the reason behind their actions. Lila's eyes light up, her curiosity getting the better of her. What do you know about the artifact? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Lyra's gaze flicks to Lila, and for a moment I see a flash of warmth in her eyes. The artifact is more than just a relic, she says. It's a key. A key to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria and to understanding the true nature of the world. As Lyra speaks, I notice the way her eyes seem to light up with a passion, a sense of purpose that is infectious. I find myself drawn to her, wanting to trust her. But I know better than to let my guard down too quickly. Why should we trust you? Elara asks, her voice skeptical. Lyra's smile fades, and for a moment I see a glimmer of pain in her eyes. Because I've lost everything to the Archon, she says. I've lost my family, my friends, my home, and I want to see them brought down. I study Lyra's face, trying to read her emotions. To read something there, something that tells me Shez's telling the truth, but I also sense that there's more to her story, something Shez's not telling us. Okay, I say finally. Well, listen to what you have to say, but if you're trying to trick us, you'll regret it. Lyra nods, a small smile playing on her lips. I understand, she says. I'll tell you everything I know. And then you can decide what to do with the information. As Lyra begins to speak, I realize that her information is going to change everything. It's going to change the way we think about Aetheria, about the Archon, and about ourselves. And it's going to force us to make some tough decisions, decisions that will determine the course of our journey and the fate of Aetheria. The air seems to vibrate with anticipation as Lyra speaks, her words painting a picture of a world that's both familiar and yet utterly alien. I feel a sense of wonder growing inside me, a sense of possibility that is exhilarating. But as I look around at my companions, I know that we're not out of the woods yet. We're still facing countless challenges, still navigating treacherous landscapes and avoiding unknown dangers. And we're still searching for the artifact, still trying to understand its secrets and its power. Lyra's information has given us a new direction, a new purpose, but it's also raised more questions, more doubts and fears, and it's up to us to navigate this new landscape, to find our way through the shadows and into the light. As we stand there, listening to Lyra's words, I feel a sense of hope growing inside me, a sense of possibility, of promise. We may not have all the answers yet, but we're getting closer. And with Lyra's help, I know that we can overcome anything, that we can achieve anything. The darkness seems to recede just a little as I look around at my companions. We're in this together, and we're going to get through it together. We're going to find the artifact, and we're going to use its power to change Aetheria. We're going to bring hope to a world that's been plunged into darkness. And as we step forward into the unknown, I know that we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for a better future, a future where Aetheria can be free from the Archon's grip, a future where we can live in peace and where we can thrive. The journey ahead will be tough, but I know that we're ready. We're ready to face whatever challenges come our way, and we're ready to seize whatever opportunities arise. We're ready to make a difference, to leave our mark on Aetheria. And as we walk into the unknown, I feel a sense of pride and purpose growing inside me. We're not just a group of adventurers searching for treasure and glory. We're a team, a family, and we're in this together, for better or for worse. Previously, Alex and his companions had stumbled upon a cryptic message etched into the wall of a hidden chamber, hinting at a powerful ally waiting for them in the shadows. Elara's struggle to contain Kale's vengeful specter had reached a boiling point, and Alex's leadership was put to the test as he navigated the treacherous landscape of Aetheria's underworld. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, the stakes had escalated, and the team's resolve was pushed to the limit. As Lyra finishes speaking, her words hang in the air like a challenge. I feel a sense of awe and wonder at the secrets she's revealed, and I know that our journey has just taken a dramatic turn. The artifact, it seems, is more than just a relic. It's a key to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria and to understanding the true nature of the world. But as I look around at my companions, I know that we're not out of the woods yet. We're still facing countless challenges, still navigating treacherous landscapes and avoiding unknown dangers. And we're still searching for the artifact, still trying to understand its secrets and its power. So, Lyra, I say, my voice filled with a sense of purpose, what's the plan? How do we get to the artifact, and how do we use it to take down the Archon? Lyra's smile grows wider, and for a moment I see a flash of excitement in her eyes. I can take you to the location of the artifact, she says, but it's not going to be easy. The Archon has set up a series of trials and challenges to protect it, and we'll have to be careful if we want to succeed. Elara's eyes narrow, her hand on the hilt of her sword. What kind of trials? She asks, her voice wary. Lyra's gaze flicks to Elara, and for a moment I see a flash of concern in her eyes. The trials are designed to test your worthiness, she says. They'll push you to your limits, physically and emotionally. But if you can overcome them, the artifact is yours. I take a deep breath, trying to process Lyra's words. It sounds like a daunting task, but I know that we're up for the challenge. We've come too far to turn back now. Let's do it, I say, my voice filled with determination. Let's take on the trials and get the artifact. Lyra nods, a small smile playing on her lips. I knew I could count on you, she says. Let's get moving. We don't have much time. As we set off, I feel a sense of excitement and anticipation building inside me. We're on a mission to change the course of history, and we're not going to let anything stand in our way. The journey is long and arduous, but with Lyra's guidance, we're able to navigate the treacherous landscapes and avoid the dangers that lurk in the shadows. Finally, after what feels like hours of walking, we arrive at the entrance to the trials. It's a massive stone structure with intricate carvings and symbols etched into the walls. The air around us seems to vibrate with energy, and I can feel the weight of the trials bearing down on us. Are you ready? Lyra asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I nod, my heart pounding in my chest. Let's do this, I say. The trials are a series of challenges that push us to our limits. We have to navigate treacherous obstacles, solve complex puzzles, and face our deepest fears. But with each challenge, we grow stronger and more confident. And then, finally, we reach the artifact. It's a glowing crystal surrounded by a halo of light. The energy emanating from it is intense, and I can feel its power coursing through my veins. We did it, Lila says, her voice filled with excitement. But as we reach out to take the artifact, we're confronted by a figure from our past, a figure who has a score to settle with us. Ah, Alex, the figure says, its voice dripping with malice. I've been waiting for you. I turn to face the figure, my heart sinking in my chest. It's Arcturus, the man who had betrayed us and left us for dead. You're not going to take the artifact from us, Elara says, her voice firm. Arcturus sneers, his eyes glinting with amusement. Oh, I think I will, he says. You see, I have a plan, and it involves using the artifact to gain ultimate power. I feel a surge of anger and determination. We're not going to let Arcturus get away with this. Not if we have anything to say about it, I say, my voice firm. The battle that ensues is intense and chaotic. We fight with everything we've got, using all our skills and strength to take down Arcturus and his minions. But in the end, it's just Alex versus Arcturus. The two of us clash in a flurry of punches and kicks, our movements lightning fast. I can feel the power of the artifact coursing through my veins, and I know that I've got this. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, I manage to land a decisive blow. Arcturus crashes to the ground, defeated. I stand over him, my chest heaving with exhaustion. "It's over," I say, my voice firm. Arcturus looks up at me, a mixture of anger and admiration in his eyes. "You won," he says, "but the war is far from over." I nod, my mind racing with the implications. We may have won this battle, but we know that there are more challenges ahead. As we stand there, catching our breath and assessing the situation, I feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. We've done it. We've overcome the trials and obtained the artifact. But as I look down at the artifact, I know that our journey is far from over. We've got to use its power to change Aetheria, to bring hope to a world that's been plunged into darkness. And I know that we're up for the challenge. We stand there for a moment, taking in the magnitude of what we've accomplished. And then, with a sense of purpose and determination, we set off into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges come our way. The journey ahead will be tough, but I know that we're ready. We're ready to face whatever challenges come our way, and we're ready to seize whatever opportunities arise. We're ready to make a difference, to leave our mark on Aetheria. And as we walk into the unknown, I feel a sense of pride and purpose growing inside me. We're not just a group of adventurers searching for treasure and glory. We're a team, a family, and we're in this together, for better or for worse. As the darkness seems to recede just a little, I look around at my companions. We're in this together, and we're going to get through it together. We're going to find a way to use the artifact's power to change Aetheria, to bring hope to a world that's been plunged into darkness. The journey ahead will be long and difficult, but I know that we're ready. We're ready to face whatever challenges come our way, and we're ready to make a difference. The path forward is uncertain, but I know that we're on the right track. We've got the artifact, and we've got each other. And with those two things, I know that we can overcome anything. The stakes are high, but I know that we're up for the challenge. We're going to use the artifact's power to change Aetheria, to bring hope to a world that's been plunged into darkness. And we're going to do it together, as a team. The future is uncertain, but I know that we're ready. We're ready to face whatever challenges come our way, and we're ready to make a difference. We're ready to leave our mark on Aetheria and to create a brighter future for all. And with that, we step forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges come our way. Previously, Alex and his companions had stumbled upon a cryptic message etched into the wall of a hidden chamber, hinting at a powerful ally waiting for them in the shadows. Elara's struggle to contain Kale's vengeful specter had reached a boiling point, and Alex's leadership was put to the test as he navigated the treacherous landscape of Aetheria's underworld. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, the stakes had escalated, and the team's resolve was pushed to the limit. As we walked away from the ruins of the ancient city, the weight of our journey settled in. The artifact's power still lingered within us, and we knew that our actions would have far-reaching consequences. But we also knew that we couldn't stay in one place for too long. The Archon's forces would be searching for us, and we needed to keep moving if we wanted to stay one step ahead. Lyra led us through the winding tunnels and hidden passages of Aetheria's underworld. We encountered strange creatures and navigated treacherous terrain, but Lyra's knowledge of the area proved invaluable. As we walked, she told us more about the history of Aetheria and the secrets of the artifact. But despite the progress we made, Elara's struggle to contain Kale's specter grew more intense. We could see the toll it was taking on her, and we knew that we needed to find a way to help her before it was too late. "We need to find a way to release Kale's specter," I said to Lyra as we paused to catch our breath. "Elara can't keep carrying this burden." Lyra nodded, her eyes filled with compassion. "I know a place where we might be able to find the answer," she said. "An ancient temple hidden deep in the underworld. It's said to hold the secrets of the Ancient Ones, and maybe even a way to release Kale's specter." We set off towards the temple, our hearts filled with hope. As we approached the entrance, we could feel a strange energy emanating from within. It was as if the temple was alive and it was waiting for us. We entered the temple and were immediately struck by its beauty. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings, and the air was filled with the scent of incense. We walked deeper into the temple and came across a large stone statue of an ancient one. Lyra approached the statue and began to chant in a language we didn't understand. As she spoke, the statue began to glow, and the energy in the temple grew stronger. Suddenly, a figure appeared before us. It was an ancient one, and it was radiating a powerful energy. "You have come seeking answers," the Ancient One said, its voice like thunder. "I will give them to you, but first you must prove yourselves worthy." The Ancient One then presented us with a series of challenges, each one designed to test our worthiness. We had to use all our skills and strength to overcome them, but in the end, we emerged victorious. The Ancient One nodded in approval. "You have proven yourselves worthy," it said. "I will now give you the answer you seek." The Ancient One then revealed to us that the key to releasing Kael's specter lay in Elara's own heart. She had to forgive herself for her past mistakes and let go of her guilt and anger. Elara was taken aback, but she knew that the Ancient One was right. She took a deep breath and began to cry. As she wept, Kael's specter began to fade away until it was nothing more than a distant memory. We were overjoyed, and we thanked the Ancient One for its wisdom. As we left the temple, we knew that our journey had just become a little bit easier. We still had many challenges ahead of us, but we were ready to face them, knowing that we were a team and that together we could overcome anything. As we emerged from the temple, we were greeted by a beautiful sight. The underworld was filled with a vibrant, pulsating light, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been transformed, and we were seeing Aetheria in a new light. But our joy was short-lived as we heard the sound of approaching footsteps. The Archon's forces had found us, and they were closing in. "We need to get out of here," I said, my voice urgent. "Now!" We set off at a run, our hearts pounding in our chests. We knew that we had to keep moving if we wanted to stay alive. But as we ran, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being herded toward some unknown fate. The Archon's forces were closing in, and we were running out of options. And then, just as we thought things couldn't get any worse, we stumbled upon a group of rebels fighting against the Archon's regime. They were a ragtag group, but they were determined to bring down the Archon and free Aetheria from its grip. "We need to join forces with them," I said to my companions, my voice filled with excitement. "We can't take on the Archon's forces alone, but together we might have a chance." My companions nodded in agreement, and we joined forces with the rebels. It was a risk, but it was one that we had to take. We knew that our actions would have far-reaching consequences, and we were determined to make a difference. As we stood there, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, I felt a sense of pride and purpose growing inside me. We were in this together, and we were going to make a difference. We were going to bring hope to a world that had been plunged into darkness, and we were going to create a brighter future for all. The journey ahead would be tough, but I knew that we were ready. We had each other, and we had a common goal. We were going to face whatever challenges came our way, and we were going to emerge victorious. The path forward was uncertain, but I knew that we were on the right track. We had found a new ally, and we had a new plan. We were going to use our combined strength to take down the Archon, and we were going to bring hope to a world that had been plunged into darkness. And with that, we set off into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. We were a team, and we were unstoppable. The future was uncertain, but I knew that we were ready. We were ready to face whatever challenges came our way, and we were ready to make a difference. We were ready to leave our mark on Aetheria and to create a brighter future for all. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I knew that we were up for the challenge. We had each other, and we had a common goal. We were going to face whatever challenges came our way, and we were going to emerge victorious. And so, with hearts filled with hope and determination, we stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Previously, Alex and his companions had stumbled upon a cryptic message etched into the wall of a hidden chamber, hinting at a powerful ally waiting for them in the shadows. Ilara's struggle to contain Kale's vengeful specter had reached a boiling point, and Alex's leadership was put to the test as he navigated the treacherous landscape of Aetheria's underworld. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, the stakes had escalated and the team's resolve was pushed to the limit. As we emerged from the temple, we were met with a breathtaking sight. The underworld was bathed in a vibrant, pulsating light, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers. The atmosphere was electric, and, for a moment, we forgot about the dangers that lay ahead. But our joy was short-lived as we heard the sound of approaching footsteps. The Archon's forces had found us, and they were closing in. The sound sent a shiver down my spine. We had to act fast if we wanted to stay alive. I turned to my companions, and we exchanged a determined glance. We knew what we had to do. We joined forces with a group of rebels who were fighting against the Archon's regime. They were a ragtag group, but they were determined to bring down the Archon and free Aetheria from its grip. As we stood alongside the rebels, I felt a surge of hope. Maybe, just maybe, we could make a difference. The rebel leader, a grizzled old warrior named Thorn, eyed us warily. "You're the ones who've been causing all the trouble," he said, his voice gruff. "We've heard a lot about you." I nodded, my hand on the hilt of my sword. "We're not looking for trouble," I said, "but we're not going to back down either. We're here to help you take down the Archon and bring hope to Aetheria." Thorn snorted. "You're either very brave or very stupid," he said, "but I suppose it's worth a shot. We could use all the help we can get." As we prepared to face the Archon's forces, I couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. What lay ahead was uncertain, but I knew that we were in this together. We were a team, and we were unstoppable. The battle was intense, with spells and swords clashing in a chaotic dance. We fought with every ounce of strength we had, but the Archon's forces seemed endless. Just when it seemed like we were gaining the upper hand, a new wave of soldiers would appear, and we'd have to fight all over again. Despite the odds, we held our ground. We worked together, using our unique skills to take down the enemy. Ilara's magic was a game-changer, and Lyra's knowledge of the underworld proved invaluable. The rebels fought bravely, and we began to gain ground. But just as we thought we were winning, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was one of the Archon's top generals, a ruthless warrior named Commander Zhang. He was infamous for his brutal tactics and unwavering loyalty to the Archon. Commander Zhang sneered at us, his eyes cold and calculating. "You think you can defeat the Archon?" he said. "You're just a bunch of rebels and misfits. You'll never succeed." I felt a surge of anger at his words, but I kept my cool. "We'll see about that," I said, my sword at the ready. The battle with Commander Zhang was intense. He was a formidable opponent, and we had to use all our skills to take him down. But in the end, we emerged victorious. Commander Zhang lay defeated at our feet, and the Archon's forces began to falter. As the dust settled, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. We had done it. We had taken down one of the Archon's top generals, and we had brought hope to Aetheria. But our victory was short-lived. As we stood there, basking in the glow of our success, we heard a strange noise. It was a low, rumbling sound, like thunder in the distance. But it was getting closer. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and the air was filled with the sound of rushing water. We stumbled, our balance compromised, as the underworld began to change around us. "What's happening?" Lyra cried, her voice panicked. I looked around, trying to get my bearings. "I don't know," I said, "but I think we're about to find out." As we stumbled through the underworld, trying to make sense of the chaos around us, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. The underworld was full of secrets, and we were about to uncover one of them. The ground continued to shake, and the sound of rushing water grew louder. We were being pulled towards something, and I had a feeling that our lives were about to change forever. And then, in the distance, I saw it. A massive underground lake, its waters churning and foaming like a stormy sea. The lake was surrounded by towering cliffs and a massive stone door that looked like it hadn't been opened in centuries. The door was slowly creaking open, and I felt a surge of excitement. What lay beyond that door was a mystery, but I was determined to find out. "Let's go," I said to my companions, my voice filled with excitement. We stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. We were a team, and we were unstoppable. As we walked towards the door, I couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. We had come so far, and we had overcome so much, but I knew that the journey ahead would be just as challenging. The door creaked open, revealing a vast underground chamber filled with ancient artifacts and mysterious devices. We stood there, awestruck, taking in the wonders of the ancient world. And then I saw it, a glowing crystal pulsing with an otherworldly energy. It was the source of the Archon's power, and I knew that we had to destroy it. But as we approached the crystal, we were met with a surprise. A figure standing guard over the crystal. It was someone we had been searching for, someone who held the key to our success. "Welcome, Alex," the figure said, its voice familiar. "I've been waiting for you." I smiled, my heart filled with excitement. We had finally found what we were looking for. And now it was time to take down the Archon once and for all. The figure stepped forward, revealing a shocking truth. It was someone we had trusted, someone who had been working behind the scenes to help us. "I've been playing a double game," the figure said, its voice filled with regret. "I had to make sure that you were strong enough to take down the Archon." I felt a mix of emotions. I was angry, but I was also grateful. We had been played, but we had also been helped. The figure handed us a device, a tool that would help us destroy the crystal. "Use this," it said, "and you'll finally have the power to take down the Archon." I took the device, feeling a sense of determination. We had come so far, and we were finally going to succeed. With the device in hand, we approached the crystal. We could feel its power pulsing through the air, but we were ready. We activated the device, and the crystal began to glow even brighter. The power was building up, and we knew that it was only a matter of time before it would be released. And then it happened. The crystal exploded, releasing a massive amount of energy. The Archon's power was broken, and Aetheria was finally free. We stood there, victorious, as the underworld began to change around us. The darkness was receding, and the light was returning. We had done it. We had saved Aetheria, and we had brought hope to a world that had been plunged into darkness. As we walked out of the underworld, we were greeted by a beautiful sight. The sun was shining, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers. Aetheria was reborn, and we had played a crucial role in its transformation. We had grown, we had learned, and we had overcome. And as we walked into the bright future, we knew that we would always stand together as a team and as friends. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but we were ready. We had each other, and we had a newfound sense of purpose. We were going to rebuild Aetheria, and we were going to make it a better world for all. And so, with hearts filled with hope and determination, we stepped forward into the bright future, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.